Guys, I've been away for a while, but I have returned. Mark the Gray. I would be Mark the White, but I can never be that. But anyway, guys, check it out. Listen, I've been working very hard, like unbelievably, like long hours lately. So it hasn't left me with a lot of time to do these videos. And I just want to put it out there, guys, because I never actually make this announcement and I usually never actually put the link in there, but I do have a Cash App. If you want to help a brother to not have to work as hard, you might consider, if you want to see me have more time to do these videos, get into streaming and stuff like that, you might want to, help towards the cause. It's up to you guys. I would appreciate it. I'll leave that Cash App link in the comments so you can check that out. All right. And hope everyone is doing well, guys. Listen, we're going to talk a little bit about Kevin Smith and Masters of the Universe Revelation. You guys might know that it dropped a couple of weeks ago. A lot of people haven't been talking about it too much, and no matter what Kevin Smith might think, that actually speaks volumes, about who cares about all of this stuff at this point. The dude, the failure is complete, basically. Remember, guys, there were a lot of people who said when the first part dropped, well, it's just the first episodes. You have to wait till the next episodes. You can't really judge it and everything. So now it's over, okay? And I can really confidently say that it's just a pile of shit. And you know the difference here, right? I think I figured it out. When it comes to the fandom, there are those of us who have the perception and the ability to be able to, walk down the block. You see a pile of dog shit in the ground and you say, there's some dog shit. Let me go on and avoid that, But then there are some people who they see it and they can't identify it as dog shit until they actually step into it. And that's the difference, I think, between the mindset of certain fandoms, aspects of the fandom. Some people can identify it and avoid it. There are other people who need to step in it. They need to smell it. They need to put their face all up in it. And even then, they might say, well, it's better than nothing. And then they just indulge in the dog shit and they delude themselves into believing that there's some type of quality to this. Maybe we can use it as fertilizer or something. I think that's basically the difference. But anyway, let's talk about the delusion of Kevin Smith. What's up, guys? This is the Gospel According to Mark with a C. He is I and I am he. Just taking some time to tell you exactly what's on my mind. Now, actually, I kind of slept my way through part 2. I mean, I did watch it and everything, but only because I needed to talk about it, because I knew, like I said, I already identified it as the dog shit that it is. You know what I mean? So right from the beginning, when you're watching it, you see what you're dealing with. I mean, the last part, right? Part 1 ended with Skeletor leaping from the buttocks of Evil Lyn and putting his pole into the backside of Prince Adam. Okay, so that's basically what it is. Somebody tell me if I'm wrong. That's exactly what happened. Killing Prince Adam, I think something like for the third time, maybe the second time. So anyway, part 2 picks up with Prince Adam. He's on the ground, he's bleeding out. Now, usually when you watch these types of scenarios, the audience gets treated to a flashback in the life of the person who's dying. For some reason, while Prince Adam is on the ground, bleeding out, dying, we get treated to a flashback of Teela's life. Okay, so yes, that's how obsessed this show is with Teela. It's a perfect opportunity while Prince Adam is dying to show us where Teela came from. Once again, all about the Teela. You got me on the side, Teela. Even though I just died, Teela. That's Prince Adam, right? So anyway, it turns out that Teela was abandoned by her mom. Today, if it was a father, we would call that a deadbeat dad, but it seems that Teela had a deadbeat mom, but of course there's no such thing as a deadbeat mom, so she's just going off to save the world. Meanwhile, the soy-infested man-at-arms is left with the apron to take care of the child. You want to save the world, sorceress, barefoot and pregnant. Give Man-at-Arms some more warriors. You know what I mean? That's what I'm saying. I don't care who feels any kind of way about it, all right? So anyway, the sorceress goes off and saves the world and abandons her daughter. No breastfeeding, no None of that stuff. No knitting. She just goes. All right. So the sorceress is out of here. So for some reason, this is relevant because we all know that Teela was going to be the new sorceress anyway. So why waste time with it? So anyway, it turns out that Teela has the ability, I think, to somehow heal Prince Adam. Prince Adam is walking around. I'm not even going to get into all of this stuff, guys. I'm just going to hit on some of the more ridiculous aspects of this, such as Skeletor, who of course is being voiced by Mark Hamill. Mark Hamill seems like he's having a boatload of fun. I'm glad he is, but anyway, Skeletor, he gives up the Sword of Power for a lap dance from Evil Lyn. Now keep in mind, guys, this new iteration of Masters in the Universe is supposed to, I believe, show empowerment towards women. The most powerful woman or story arc for a woman in this show shows that the only way that a woman can achieve power is by giving a man a lap dance. That's basically what she does. She basically twerks for Skeletor. Okay? That's the way she's able to trick him into giving up the Sword of Power. Guys, you got to marinate in this. Kevin Smith is a fraud. Most of these SJWs are frauds. This is what they think of you women. That's the way you get power, okay? And of course, Evil Lyn has no accountability for all of the things that she does because it's been established Skeletor has a hard-on for He-Man. He's only interested in the battle between him and He-Man. It's a one-on-one kind of thing. Evil Lyn sees that as Skeletor's weakness. She's like, you could be terrorizing everybody, but you just want to focus on He-Man? So once she gets the Sword of Power from Skeletor by twerking for him or giving him a lap dance, female empowerment, she goes on a terrorizing spree of everything. She's killing everybody in heaven and hell and all of this stuff. She's doing far more damage with that sword than Skeletor ever did, okay? And of course, this is supposed to be because Skeletor, the man, manipulated her. She's not accountable for what she's doing, but she's doing far more atrocities than Skeletor ever did, all right? Meanwhile, He-Man and Skeletor, while they're still locked in battle, all right, I guess this is before that, Prince Adam has the bright idea that he wants to call down the power of Grayskull without the sword. It's like he doesn't even listen to the intro to his own show back in the day where he says that these powers were granted to him by holding up the sword and saying, by the power of Grayskull. He decides he's going to take the sword out of the picture. And he's just going to see, Dad, let's find out what happens when I don't have the sword. So he gets, the power of Grayskull or whatever, but it comes down and makes him the Hulk, basically. A mindless, raging monster, who goes on a rampage. And, actually that's, if I have to say that there was one enjoyable part of the show, for me, that probably was that part. Because in that moment where He-Man decides, or Savage He-Man decides that he's going to kill everybody, I feel like he embodies the audience. You know what I mean? Like I felt that character. I felt that character in that moment. Fuck it, I'll kill all of you, basically. Everybody. And then just when he's about to get to killing Teela, and I'm like, I like this show all of a sudden. Yes, do it. Do it. Then all of a sudden, Prince Adam's dad shows up, the king. And in that moment, the king decides to say, I'm so proud of you, son. You're killing everybody. You're rampaging through the land. You're out of control. Have I told you lately that I love you? Savage He-Man starts to cry. And all of a sudden, he becomes flaccid. He turns back into Prince Adam. Oh, Daddy, I love you, Daddy. So all is okay with He-Man. So it's safe now for Teela once again to take control of the show, which is basically what happens. So it's just a big old mess, guys. Orko ends up coming back, and they try to act like he's all of a sudden all powerful in some triumphant moment, and it's crazy. And He-Man and Skeletor join forces briefly to go after Evil Lyn. What's her name? Teela. Ends up fighting with Evil Lyn as the sorceress, and the all-powerful Evil Lyn, who is turned into she's turned into a man, basically. So Teela convinces Evil Lyn to give up her Evil Lyn ways, and it's all a man's fault and everything. And Evil Lyn, once again, like I said, does not have to answer for her the things that she did, all of the evil shit that she did and everything. And she gets a happy ending. So what is it? Tila ends up telling Prince Adam, in the end, of course, everybody, they win. The good guys win. So Tila is telling Prince Adam, I'm the sorceress now. I'm the guardian. But you know what, He-Man? I guess I can keep you around. Basically is what it is. All right. So there's only one, if I have to be fair about it, there's only one good line in this show. And we already saw it in the trailer when somebody says, there's no safe place. And He-Man says, yes, there is, behind me. Okay, you get 1/2 a point. All right, for that, because that was kind of cool. I like that. But that was it. That's all you saw. All right. So now that we've seen the whole thing, we know that He-Man was indeed sidelined in his own show. All right. So it was all some bullshit, So for everybody who out there who was like, no, you got to watch the whole thing. Either you like it or you don't. Okay. But the last part of this story is Kevin Smith, of course, the liar, Kevin Smith, who should have just been quiet. Just let the shit drop and just ride off. You got Clerks coming out. Just take the L, bruh. But no, it's like this dude comes out and I see he's on Twitter talking shit. He says here, my likes are filled with love for Masters official revelation. Fucking after part 1, I fucking had to wade through some of the fucking bile to read positive reactions. But fucking since part fucking 2 dropped, the anger fucking directed at me in July seems to have fucking subsided. Okay, so that's Kevin Smith, all right? So he's saying that he had to wade through the bile to get to the positive reviews. The bile? So this is what you call negative reviews, is bile. Like, see, this is the thing that kills me with these people. They honestly believe that nobody can critique their stuff. And if they do critique it, it all better be raves. Otherwise, it's bile? Like, seriously, bro? If you have to sift through that much bile, I would suggest to you that your show is trash, basically. If it was that good, you would just go on there and people would almost unanimously, agree that it was great. But no, that's not what you're getting, bro. It's like sometimes you just have to listen to the criticism. If you really want season 2, then you're going to have to actually listen to what you consider to be bile. All right. So this guy he's delusional. And he goes on to say, fucking not trying to piss anybody the fuck off, but thank you, New York Times, for calling Revelation one of the 50 best TV shows on Netflix right now. And everyone who worked on the series appreciates being included. Now, hoping, praying, wishing, begging we get a season 2. I don't think so, bro. I'd rather watch the other one, actually, that actually remembers that He-Man is supposed to be the star of his show. All right. So anyway, he is patting himself on the back. Hopefully he's not breaking his arm doing it. But the fact of the matter is that nobody cares about this thing, right? He's saying that no one is talking about him. Well, it's called irrelevance, Kevin Smith. That's what you've discovered, irrelevance. Because even the people who said that they liked it weren't really amped up to see this. It was more curiosity to see whether or not you could turn it around. And the answer is, like, convincingly, no, you could not turn it around. People will forget this. It's not a classic. You know what I'm saying? So no one is going to be looking forward to season 2, except the people who have just convinced themselves that defiantly they have to watch this against the people who didn't like it. Well, there's no business in that. But the fact of the matter is that Netflix released data for the top 10 TV shows for November 22nd to 28th, where He-Man is nowhere to be found. He's nowhere to be found in the debut. And worth the mention is that 8 out of the 10 have seen repeat weeks. So the data reveals it's really bad for Kevin Smith's He-Man series, which debuted new content. But again, no one tuned in. So all of that rave review crap that you're talking about, they're shills. Just like you, Kevin Smith, who tried to pose as like, I'm one of you. I'm a fan. I cry at everything. Well, that's called shilling. Because if you don't believe in the ability for people to be able to say how they feel and to review objectively your crap, then you're heading towards irrelevance. And that's where you are today, Kevin Smith. You're irrelevant. You've outed yourself as a shill. You've outed yourself as being hostile towards your audience. You've lost credibility, and you deserve to fail for that. Okay, in this case, because you cannot take the criticism, and you cannot understand where you might have fallen short, which is what a true creative should be able to do, to learn from their failures. Okay, and this definitely is a failure. All right, so there it is, guys. I just wanted to point that out before time gets away from me too much. All right, Kevin Smith, your failure is complete. All right, guys, you can get in the comment section. You can let me know how you feel about this. As always, you can like, you can share, you can subscribe. I'm on Odyssey as well. I will leave the link to that as well as the Cash App if you want to help this man to be able to stop overworking himself. All right, guys, I'll catch you on the next one. Of course, like I said, catch me on Twitter as well if I didn't say that. All right, guys, see you on the next one. Good to see you. Hope all is well. Happy holidays. Be safe. This is The Gospel According to Mark with a C. Rock on.